This week we're reading Parashat Beshalach. The Jewish people have left Egypt. They've experienced the 10 plagues, where God literally undoes nature. The Egyptians have been killed in the plagues. The Jews have been saved from the plagues. And at the last plague, Pharaoh tells Moses and Aaron to take the Jews, go, go, go. So they leave. They leave and they're traveling and they're coming towards the Red Sea. And they understand now that the Egyptians have a change of heart, that Pharaoh and his armies and his chariot are coming after them. So now they're literally between a rock and a hard place. The Egyptians are coming, massive army, and there's a sea in front of them. And they cry out to God. If you remember, we had groaning and moaning and now crying. They're crying to God to save them. And God says, do something. One man leads the charge, Nachshon ben Aminadav. He steps into the water. And as we know, the sea splits. We have the famous splitting of the Red Sea. The Jews come through on dry land and the waters come down, crashing down, killing all the Egyptians, the chariots, everything churning up. Everybody dies in the coming back together. The Egyptians die and the Jews are saved. And at that point, the Jews have a revelation of God like they have never had. They are experiencing God, a full revelation where they're literally pointing up and saying, this is my God and I will glorify him. It's a knowledge, not a belief. If I hold up 3 fingers, I know I'm holding up 3 fingers. I don't believe I'm holding up 3 fingers. I know I'm holding up 3 fingers. Similarly, the Jewish people had an experience of God at the Red Sea, which was complete clarity that this is my God. And I recognize there's nothing but God. There's only God in the world. God is good and God is saving us from the evil, and God is almighty, and God is all the things that we understand God to be. And the people start to sing. Moses leads the people in singing. Miriam leads the women in singing and dancing. And there's a great rejoicing. There's great praise of God and gratitude and a great song. We've gone from silence to moaning to groaning to singing. They're singing to God. But the language in this week's Torah portion is a hint to the future. It says, as Yashir, in the future we will sing. Yes, the Jewish people were singing at the Red Sea when the Egyptians were killed, and they had an experience of God that was like no other, and they understood everything, and they were just filled with overwhelming joy and gratitude to God, and they're singing. And they have a faith that in the future they will be saved again. There will be another redemption, another geula. So as much as at that moment where they were standing at the sea and the Egyptians are coming towards them, in the blink of an eye, the sea split, we understand that in the blink of an eye, things can change. And we can get to that place, and we yearn for that place, and we have hope and faith in that time where we will dance again. As it says in this week's Torah portion, as Yashir, we will sing in the future. There will be a time where evil will be obliterated and death will be no more on the land, and we will just bask in divine light for all eternity. There will be a time of the resurrection of the dead. That is the faith that we have, is as alluded to in this week's Torah portion with the words as Yashir. In the future, we will sing again, and may that singing happen quickly in our days.